Hey, welcome back. Steve AZ 711 here. Well, today I'm going to replace the drive belt in my 2006 Chevy HHR. It has 83,000 miles on it, and the owner's manual says to replace the belt at 150,000 with an exception to check for wear and on the belt. So the only way to check for wear on the belt and replace it before 150,000, of course, is to take the belt loose, unless you see something wrong from the top. Anyway, I figure with the dust and the heat and the weather we have out here in Arizona that this belt could probably stand being replaced, and it'll give me a little peace of mind. I've never done one on an HHR. I've done a few drive belts, but not on this car. So I'll be using the 2006 shop manual and a tool here that I will leave a link for, and also a belt that I'll leave a link for at the bottom of the description. So the first thing they want you to do is, according to the manual, is to remove the front tire and jack the car up, of course, and put jack stands under it, and then remove the front tire. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, my tire's off, and I have my jack placed where it's supposed to go with a jack stand behind it. And the next step is to remove 4 bolts. These bolts are 7 millimeters, or I believe 9/32. They're very small, and I found 3 of them. One right here. There's one back up under here. That's 2, and then there's one right here is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those 3 bolts. They're supposed to be 4, and maybe by doing so I will find the 4th one. Okay, I believe the 4th bolt is right here, and this is an aftermarket splash guard that I installed, and that's going to have to come off probably. And here's what the bolts look like. I mean, close to looking like screws in my opinion. Anyway, there's 4 of them. Okay, the next step is to remove these retainers, and there's supposed to be 10 of them, and they're positioned all throughout here, and of course on the back of the fender and up, yes, I believe in the fender, top of the fender well too. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. The way I'm moving these retainers is with a screwdriver and a pair of pliers. I'm sure there's a tool that GM makes, or an aftermarket tool that one could buy that would do a better job than what I'm doing. Trying to work around the camera. I'm not having very good luck at it. I'll do this one. And then move the camera out of my way. get underneath it and then just pry it out. So there's a pin. This is the pin part. And then this is the plastic piece, and the pin goes in and spreads the plastic piece. Okay, hope that came out. Okay, the ones on the outside of the fender here, or the inside of the edge of the fender, are a bit different. They look like they're just push-in type that you end up destroying to take them out. We'll see. I'm going to take this one out and see what it looks like. Okay, they're a push-in type with barbs on them. I've seen these before. You can find these probably on the base store. Okay, continuing on. Once you get all the plastic fasteners out, and if you have a tool to do that, it would sure be a lot easier, I'll tell you that right now. You can pull this piece and let the fender plastic liner completely down and out. Now all you have to deal with is the plastic piece that is right here. And it seems to be, this piece seems to be attached to the front around the fog light somewhere, but I believe you can just, that might be where the fourth screw is, I don't know. But I believe that that can be just moved out of the way, and probably will get to be able to get to this with a tool. The belt, I mean. I can see a crack in the belt already. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. Maybe this is what you got to go through to inspect your belt. I don't know. Sorry for the jerkiness. Okay, I'll pull back a little bit, see if it'll focus in. Come on, focus in. Anyway, right in here, you can see a crack in the belt. Okay, I was able to bend the splash shield out of the way, the plastic one that's wedged up in there somewhere. Is that a screw? Can't tell. Probably on the other side. So if there's a bolt in there, that might be it right there on the other side. I don't know, but I just pushed it out of the way. And I'm going to go in under here and I'll show you what we're looking at. I don't know if this camera's going to focus in. I hope it does. Okay, that is the drive belt tensioner. There's a little square hole right about there. And that's where you'll attach a tool to, and I believe you would push that way towards the top of the engine. Pry with your tool, which looks like a counterclockwise pry. I believe that's what the instructions say, which would relieve the tension on this belt, which only goes around as you can see. See a few more cracks too. Okay. tensioner pushes down on it and then over the flywheel here. So what I'm going to do is try and get that, see if the tool fits, and I'll get back. Okay, the wonderful tool has two parts, the short part and the long part. The end on the short part does not fit into the slot on the tensioner. The end on the long part of the tool does fit into the slot of the tensioner. Unfortunately, the tool is so long that you're not able to put it in properly to where you can get any leverage. I will try again and I will show you. So, here we go. As you can see, the tool fits up in there pretty nice. Hope you can see that. Anyway, it's fitting in there very nicely. Unfortunately, I need to pull down on the tool to release the tension, which pulling down is going to push this up. And I can't pull down on the tool because there it is stuck on top of the steering rod. So, what do you do? I'm going to see if I can't come up with something. I'll be back. Okay, here's what I come up with. That is my 3/8 drive socket. It is the thinnest one, narrowest one I have. That is narrow this way, and it's still too big to go in there. So, I found a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter. This is a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter. This is a good pair of vice grips. And if you put this in the vice grips, and I will do that in a minute, it goes in there perfectly. Well, not perfectly. You got to weasel it up in there. It is a close fit, but it goes up in there, and it does pull the tensioner back with the vice grips. The tensioner is obviously not that strong. Or what you can do, I have another one of these tools I found as I was digging through my toolbox. You can cut this arm shorter and it will still have enough pull to move that tensioner. So I would suggest maybe going and buying a 1/4 inch to 3/8 socket adapter and grab a good pair of vice grips and keep your tool for another use, maybe on your truck or something. Okay, let me show you how that fits. Hold on. Okay, I just put the adapter in the vice grips, and I will put the vice grips up in there and show you how that goes. Just a note, if you find that this thing isn't fitting into the slot, you might have to turn it a little bit, put it on the ideal situation is to get something that hangs down like this so you can pull, because it has to go like that to remove the tension. Let me hook that up in there. Okay, you can see how it is up in there, and you only need enough tension just to slip that belt off of a pulley. As you can see, I'm getting that with just my left hand. Once you slip it off of the, probably the air conditioner pulley, I would imagine. It's the one that's up there in front, I believe. Or you can slip it off of here. Once you get it off, then the tensioner is going to come back down this way. You just leave the tool on, I believe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take this belt off and hope the belt I got is the right belt. So here we go. I'm going to have to put the camera down because maybe I can go get another tripod. Okay, got the belt off. Let's go check these belts and see if they're the same size. Found a genuine GM replacement. Like I said, hope they're the same size. I believe they are. Okay, you can see, anyway, you can see the cracks in this belt. Let's turn it inside out. Now, I've seen belts that are worse, but that doesn't look too good right there. When you're out there on the highway doing 70 miles an hour or so, and the temperature outside your car is like 102, 103, it's hot. Looks like a little rip there. And you don't know when this belt's going to go. But anyway, 83,000 miles on this one, on this belt. And I live in Arizona where it's hot. A lot of dust, dirt, washers running. Went through a few washers with this and running. Got it stuck in some mud. So this belt has gone through a lot. Some cars, these belts don't go through that kind of extremes. So anyway, let's go put that other belt on. Okay, the new belt is on. It was a little bit of a bear. I put the gut on the top and set the belt on the alternator and the air conditioner pump, and then I went back underneath here and then pulled on the vice grips, moved them quite a ways, and was able to slip it over this one and in between. Right up in there, you can see right there, hopefully. And while I was at it, another point I might make is you can spin this tensioner pulley to make sure it's nice and smooth and not grindy. A grindy one would indicate it's going to be needing replaced, and in order to replace that pulley you have to do the whole tensioner arm, but it comes loose with a bolt right through there that you can pry up on the engine. And I don't know if you can see that bolt in there or not, but there we go. That bolt comes loose and you can replace the whole tensioner that way. Anyway, probably if you don't have the vice grips and you don't have that, you might want to consider shortening your arm Okay, I'm gonna go start it up. Oh, by the way, I'll see if I can find a link for this socket adapter from 1/4 inch to 3/8. You can see that the vice grips were slipping a little bit, so make sure you clamp down on it good and tight. Make it just as flush with the back as you can. You don't want anything sticking out. Make it flush at the back here. Makes it as narrow as possible to fit up in there. Okay, there she is running. Brand new belt. Now I got to put it back together. Just reverse of the other part of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. This is Steve AZ 711. I hope all your drive belt replacement, serpentine belt replacements go easy. And thanks for watching. And bye for now.